Good morning and welcome to Dobutsu Kyoji, the Animal Liberation Temple. So good to see you, Tani. Hope everything is going well with you. It does seem that all my live streams are currently working. We'll start with the updates. First update is I guess my car is still needing some more parts. I'm about probably like $2,000 away from having it able to be on the road again. Um, so quite a bit of money. Um, so that project is just on hold again. Um, it's been sunny, which is really good for the solar, and it means that I'm not running the generator as often. Maybe a couple times this week, not too bad, only in the morning. Um, it's still really cold, especially at night, but not during the day, so that's really nice being able to get a lot of things done. The tortoises are back outside. Um, yeah, all of our other building projects are on hold too because of finances. Oh, good morning, Pastor Rob. So good to see you. Good morning, Yolanda. So good to see you as well. Bodhi the cow is prancing on by this morning. Um, the cows are up here for today's services. All the animals have been fed, so they're eating right now. But let's go into the resident update. We got our ducks who are all eating breakfast this morning. Breve, Grave, Amanda, and Renee doing really well. Our dog friends, Lucy and Bernard, are right here in front of me. They're doing really well. Yesterday, I let them out. I let them out in the front of the fence, kind of run around some, get some of the energy out. They also like to use the bathroom out there rather than in here, which is fine. They can go either way. Um, but yesterday, they decided to go running down the hill, up the road. I had to go all the way back down to the lower barn to find them. Luckily, they stayed together. I worry a lot about Bernard with like coyotes and hawks and things like that because he's just a small guy. But Lucy was a good protector and stayed near him. But I also know that Lucy doesn't run off like that. So Bernard was the bad influence, and Lucy was just staying by to protect him, which is, yeah, she's a really good dog. And Bernard he's 3, but very much a puppy. You can probably hear them again this week. Bernard's already barking. Bernard, Bernard, not all the time. You're a good boy. Our goat friends, Rob, Matt, and Philip, are doing really well. Saw them yesterday, relaxing on the hill. Our tortoise friends, Miyachi, and the other two are doing really well. Our turkey friends, Priya and Harriet, are eating their breakfast. The roosters, Jax and Jimmy, are doing really well. Our guinea fowl friend, Wendy, is doing well. The roosters in the main aviary are Sabrina May, Brad, Hard One, Mr. Black, Elton, Ed, Magnus, all doing really well. Our hens, Glennis, Gwen, Alice, Melissa, Sunny, Dora, and Daniela, are doing really well. Our rat friends, Yamabushi and Hasu, I heard them up and about this morning. They're probably getting ready for bed. Our dove friend, Sequoia, she's doing really well. The Cornishes in the Cornwall Corner, Poppy, Aster, Ivy, Azalea, Peony, Cynthia, Lotus, Edward, Magnolia, Hazel, Sage, Marigold, Camilla, Hydrangea, Holly, and Zinnia. They're all doing really well. Our pigeon friends: FP, Champagne, Appletini, Tulin, Sasha, Yo-Yo, Petey, Ricky, Spencer, Shambles, Beluga, Bath, Pee-wee, Cascade, Augustus, Frankie, Rufus, Harper, Elliot, Snickers, Boba, Kismet, Farrah, Angus, Pandora, Jones, Sin, Harriet, Lago, Fred, Chamanto, Halo, Vin, Capone, Thimble, Percy, Pacino, Lacey, and Sasha the Second, all doing really well. Oh, good morning, Pauline and D. Ray Owens and Neil. Um, so good to see you. A lot of my dear friends from the UK tuning in. That's always very pleasant to see. Oh, good morning, Stacy. So good to see you here as well. So those are all the residents. Everybody's doing really well. Bernard is, like I said, is a bad influence on Lucy, but he's adjusting well, and I'm really happy to see that. He's been here now for a little over a week, and really is adjusting well. He has his own bed, and he starts sleeping in the bed, but then I wake up in the middle of the night, and he's sleeping in the bed, in my bed with Lucy, which is fine too. I don't know if he gets cold in his own bed. It seems like a warm bed, but he jumps into my bed at night, and that's okay. He's allowed anywhere he wants. Any other updates? I don't think so. I think that is all of the updates for this week. Like I said, we don't got a lot going on because I'm kind of financially strained with me trying to fix my car. And really, we're just trying to keep um, all of our residents happy and things like that. Things are tight and a little rushed because to fix my car, I'm trying to take in other work um, where I'm repairing other people's cars, which does cut into the time that I'm able to be up here with the animals and make sure everything is clean and orderly up here. So it's always a bit of a struggle, but we're getting by. I have enough food for everybody, and everybody's being cared for well. Everybody seems to be really happy, and that's what's important. So we'll start with today's services. We'll start with the Great Heart of Wisdom Sutra, found on page 4 of the Animal Liberation Temple Prayer Book. As always, this prayer book right here, if you want a hard copy, reach out to me and let me know. It's on Amazon for like $100 because I was hoping people would just order it directly through me. And so you can get it a lot cheaper, and I can sign it for you and all those things. But I also made the softback available for a lot less. I can't remember what it was, but I made the price a lot lower on Amazon for the softback if you wanted to just order it directly through Amazon. And I know a lot of people are not a big fan of Amazon, but they were the easiest to self-publish. Um, I found out recently that I self-published over a year ago, but back in February. So it's been out there for a year now, and at the same time I was doing Amazon, I was also trying to self-publish on Barnes and Noble, and that is still on a hold. That's still going through the process. So I did try to self-publish a little bit better than Amazon, but unfortunately, that just didn't happen. Maybe one day Barnes and Noble will carry it too. We'll see. Anyways, we will start with the recitation of the Great Heart of Wisdom Sutra, found on page 4. And as always, these are dedicated to our dear animal friends. It's of great benefit for your for the residents here to be able to hear these prayers, as well as the residents maybe at your own place, or any of the wild animals that might be nearby, all the lovely little mice and rats that we have up here, to the insects. So, we're probably never not surrounded by our deer animal friends, even if we don't have companion animal friends. We're always surrounded by our deer animal friends. That's wonderful, Neil. I'm glad some people are ordered this off back from Amazon. Um, and Neil was one of the people I was able to sign one for and send it off to him. And Yolanda as well. Yes, some of our long time, very consistent people that tune in live make me very happy. My puppy friends are playing behind me, so they might be a bit distracting. Maka hanya haramita shingyo kanji zai bosatsu gyojin hanya haramita jisho kengo onkai kudo isai guyakusha rishi shiki fuku kufu ishiki shiki zoku ze kuku zoku ze shiki ju sogyo shiki yaku bunya ze shari shi ze shoho kuso fu sho fu metsu fuku fujo fuzo fugen ze koku chu mu shi shiki muju sogyo shiki mugen ni bizet shin ni mu shiki shoko misoku zo mugen kai nai shi mui shiki kai mu mu myo yaku mu mu myo jin nai shi muro shi yaku muro shi jin mu ku shu metsu do mu chi yaku mu tokui mu sho tokko bodai sa dai hanya hara mita koshin mukege komuku funri sai tendo mukege komuku funri sildo sukogyo ne hansan ze shubutsu e hanya hara mita gotoku wa nokutara sanmyaku sanbo de kochi hanya hara mita ze lai shin shu ze daimyo shu ze mujo shu ze muto do shu no zo isai ku shin jitsu fu koko zetsu hanya hara mita shu zoku zetsu shu watsu gyate hara so gyate oji sowaka hanya shinyo ネグワクはこの孤独をもってあまねく一切に及ぼし我ら投資者と皆友の仏道 Animal Liberation の上善ことを自法三世佛子孫菩薩佛子孫菩薩 Moko sa Moko Hoja Horo Mi. We'll now recite the refuge prayer in Tibetan and in English, page 8 of the Animal Liberation Temple Prayer Book. Sangye chodan tsuki chanam la chanchu patuk takti gyapsu chi taki jinso gyepe sonam ki jola pencher sangye chupar sho. The Buddha, Dharma, and excellent assembly of the Sangha. Until I attain enlightenment, these I take refuge. By my practice of the six perfections, may all sentient beings attain the state of Buddhahood. We now recite the four great Bodhisattva vows, Shigi Seigan, page 9 of the Animal Liberation Temple Prayer Book. Shujo Muhen Seigan Do. Bono Mujien Segandan. Homon Muryo Segangak. Butsudo Mujo Seganjo. However numerous sentient beings, I vow to enlighten them all. However inexhaustible my delusions, I vow to extinguish them all. However immeasurable the dharmas, I vow to master them all. However endlessly enlightened way, I vow to follow it fully. We now recite the 6 vows to our dear animal friends. However numerous my dear animal friends, I vow to liberate them all. However diverse the methods of animal liberation, I vow to support them all. However unheard their voices, I vow to speak out for them all. However painful and inexhaustible the method of suffering, I vow to bear witness to them all. However infinite the cages and tanks, I vow to empty them all. However difficult animal liberation, I vow to achieve it completely. And we now recite the Vajrasattva purification mantra. Om Vajrasattva Maya Anupalaya Vajrasattva Te No Patisajrido Me Bhava Sitosho Me Bhava Siposho Me Bhava Anurata Me Bhava Sarva Sitam Me Prayata Sarva Karma Sitam Me Sitam Shri Yam Kuru Hom Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sarva Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mucha Vajri Bhava Mahasamamya Safaha. Excuse me. Good morning, Susan. So good to see you. So good morning, Tracy. So good to see you as well. Good morning, Martin. Also so good to see you. Thank you for all of you for tuning in live, and for those of you who have gotten our hardback cover of our book. Really appreciate that. I believe Susan Craig also runs a small private sanctuary where she cares for some of our dear animal friends. Also, Pauline, I learned, has a few chickens that she takes care of. You know, I always talk about how every week not every week, but I often say, you know, go rescue a chicken. As a call to action, and I literally mean, you know, all beings are like a chicken, and because I hold chickens very dear to me, I often will say, you know, go rescue a chicken. But I mean that means like you know, go rescue a dog friend or a duck friend or a pigeon friend or a parrot friend or a cat friend. And they're all chickens to me. Um, so when I say go rescue a chicken, I kind of mean any of them. And I also, if you have a lot of companion animal friends at home and are feeling, stretched, you're already doing the good work. I also tell you to go rescue a chicken. If you don't have a companion animal friend at home, maybe consider a chicken. They're wonderful companions. Um, I once heard a beautiful uh, message about anybody can have a chicken in their home or even apartment. They don't require a whole lot of space. You put a little diaper on them. Maybe it would be okay in an apartment with a singular chicken. Might be okay. Um, Pauline says, "I only have 3 chickens. I need more." No, 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 no. Maybe not. The 3 chickens is a lot to care for in a on your own. Susan talks about I have 33 animals at my private vegan sanctuary: dogs, cats, goats, sheep, ponies, and miniature horses. Oh, that's so wonderful. And large mammals are very expensive and hard to care for. So you know, thank you for your work, Susan. We have a mini horse here too, and they're really wonderful. Um, and I absolutely adore sheep. I wish we had some sheep here. One day we will. We'll have sheep. Um, when I expand the back of the sanctuary, that's one of the things. Why we moved here was that we had the ability to expand. Quite large. We just need to have the funds to back it. But 33 is. I would venture to say 33 is not a small sanctuary. Um, that's a pretty large sanctuary. It's pretty full, especially if you're doing a lot of that work on your own. And 3 dogs with high prey, so we don't have birds here. Yeah, I completely understand that. If you have high prey dogs, it's very difficult to have birds around. Um, it's definitely something we think about when we adopt any of our dog friends. Lucy is probably the gentlest around birds. She can go into the aviaries with me and she just ignores the birds, which is what she's supposed to do. But if somebody threatens the birds, she's all over it. So she's perfect companion up here for our bird friends. Um, and then there is Bernard, who luckily is small enough that he can't hurt any of the birds. He has no interest in hurting the birds, but he will chase them, which is not good for them. So we don't let Bernard in the aviaries. But because he's such a small dog, that's easy to control. That's also like kind of how our sanctuary is set up, where everybody has safety areas. So we have the main aviary, and we have the Cornish aviary, and we have the pigeon aviary, um, so that everybody can stay safe. Sheeps, pigs, cows, all awesome. Yeah, I love cows too. We have a lot of cows up here. But the cows belong to the other sanctuary and are just free roaming on the land, so it's great. And we have pigs as well up here. Hmm. Yeah. Tony said, I love big dogs, but my other son has 4 cats with me right now. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes it's hard for the big dogs to get along with the little animals or the little cats. That can be difficult. You okay, Lucy? A little whiny this morning? You're a good girl. Yeah. You want to say hi? No? Um, yeah, it's very bright out, so I'm having trouble reading the screen a little bit and keeping up what's going on. Bernard, you've been so good throughout the service. And now we want to play some more. I know. You're okay. I'm very happy that you're confident. You're a good boy. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the mission of the Animal Liberation Temple. And um, oh wow, I'm not sure if folks can hear that. Um, well, a hawk flew by, but that didn't sound like a hawk. Hmm. One of the nice things, everything is very safe here, away from hawks. We have hawk netting everywhere, and the pigeon aviary is extremely secure. Um, anyways, some of the missions that we have here at the Animal Liberation Temple are foremost, I say every week, we're here in the service of the spiritual and physical liberation of our dear animal friends, and that's foremost our top mission, right? Is to not only have a place uh, for the liberation, the spiritual liberation of our dear animal friends, where they can express themselves as the spiritual beings that they are, but also, this physical space, and to promote the physical liberation of our dear animal friends, um, where they can live up here, kind of unexploited. Um, a couple of things, because that's our mission. One of the things we don't do, which I'm not opposed to, but it's just something we don't do, is like we don't we don't charge for sanctuary tours. Um, and that's not to speak ill of folks that do. I absolutely think that they should. And I think that it's a good way to fund your sanctuary. Um, but because we're like a spiritual place for our residents, we don't feel exactly right charging like a sanctuary tour. So that's something that, because we're a Buddhist temple, that's not something that we do. Yeah, it's a hawk. He's going back and forth. He's kind of upset. Hope he's okay. I know, Lucy. I don't know why the hawk's upset. He seems to be very concerned. Um, yeah, so, that's one of our things why we don't charge for tours, is that we really want to be careful about, possibly exploiting. And I don't think most sanctuaries that offer, tours that are paid are exploiting their residents at all. I haven't actually seen that from a proper sanctuary, but I have, you know, seen other places that are exploiting animals, such as like zoos and these wildlife experiences, um, where they are putting animals on the land so that they can charge a fee to for people to see them. And maybe their intention started out right, but sometimes it can get away from you. And so we want to just be a shining example of how to not exploit our residents. Everybody here, eats their eggs that they lay. They'll either eat them themselves, um, but because a lot of our residents are on controlled diets and eggs have a ton of calories in them, we have to be careful how much of the eggs they eat. So any extra egg actually gets donated to a opossum rescue in Oakland. What is it, Lucy? Do you see something? Good girl. She's concerned about something. If she's barking, it's because she's concerned about something. Yeah, so we're really careful about, whether our residents become exploited or not, that they're free and able to express themselves how they feel they want to. It's we provide a safe place, we provide them food, we provide them love and care. But from there, they can kind of just be themselves. If they're an angry rooster, they just kind of get their own space, and they're allowed to just be an angry rooster. And I talked about that last week. with Hard One, who often attacks me. That's okay. I try to give him a space. I'm only in there to clean and give him food. Unless he wants me to be in there, I'm just gonna give him his space. Um, and that's sometimes a difficult balance, and you just have to be in tune with everybody here. And so that's part of some of our mission is to just kind of give everybody their their autonomy back, so that they can develop their own spirituality and become the beings that they want to be. The other thing that was brought up when I first established the temple. I established the temple under the name Animal Liberation Temple, and I purposely didn't designate it in the name as a Buddhist temple, and I purposely chose the name Animal Liberation Temple because of the physical and spiritual liberation of our dear animal friends. Um, Also, I've mentioned how I don't see a distinction between human animals and non-human animals. They're both animals, and I want to um, bring forward the plight of our dear non-human animal friends. So hence why we named it the Animal Liberation Temple. Because as a Buddhist temple, I'm still very interested in um, the humans' plight for liberation. That is still in my mind and something that I want to work towards is human liberation as well. But at this specific temple, we kind of highlight the animals, um, and so that brings me to the other mission is to inspire other churches and temples to also um, make a place for non-human animals, as we are specifically an animal sanctuary. We are specifically for the liberation of our non-human animal friends, and we make a space for our human animal friends. I think all churches and synagogues and temples and places of worship should be making a space, at least be making a space for our non-human animal friends. And so that's what I'm hoping to accomplish with the Animal Liberation Temple um, on a wide scale. But meanwhile, while we're trying to accomplish that, and I try to beautify the temple a little bit so that it becomes a place where people are drawn to and is a shining example to how we can have these spaces for our non-human animal friends. Um, Try to expand and bring in more residents and make sure that they have a good level of care here. So that's a little bit about the temple I wanted to talk about this week. Um, yeah, Lucy is not happy with that hawk. I don't know if it's a hawk or she sees the cows up on the hill, um, and they're not usually in that spot, and so maybe she's concerned about that. I don't know. She knows probably way better than me. If she's barking, there's probably a good reason, and I always just let her bark because maybe there's a coyote that I don't see, and she's trying to make sure that coyotes know that they're not supposed to be poking around the birds over here, and that's a really good thing. So that's what I wanted to talk about this week was, it's kind of some of our mission here at the Animal Liberation Temple. Why we called it the Animal Liberation Temple, because we foremost are putting our non-human animal friends in the foreground here, but we still have a space for our human animal friends as well. Hence, I have this weekly service that I do here, inspired by Pastor Rob, who also had a weekly service, and I saw that, and he promotes veganism and animals and animal rights, and I thought, we should do that as well. We should have a space where my human friends can kind of come together and think about the best ways that we can help our non-human animal friends. Um, also is to like provide a both Pastor Rob and myself also think that we should, provide a spiritual place for our um, non-human, or I'm sorry, our human animal friends, our human friends who resonate with non-human animals and who are working towards the liberation of them. It can be a very difficult world to live in sometimes. It can be quite cruel and harsh. And I think like on a weekly basis, if we can come together in a spiritual space and kind of be with each other and say some prayers for our dear animal friends, I think that can be very beneficial to everyone. So that's my message for this week. Thank you, Yolanda, for thinking it's a beautiful mission, vision for our temple, and we'll keep working towards this vision. And I hope to expand and have be a shining example for our dear animal friends. But we'll conclude today's services with recitation of the animal liberation prayer as well as the dedication of merit. And then I said last week that we'll visit with the Cornishes, so we'll visit with the Cornishes this week. May all sentient beings, especially our dear animal friends who are subject to unbearable pain in labs throughout the world, be free of all suffering. May alternatives to animal experimentation, vivisection, and dissection be implemented immediately. May bodhicitta, the quality of compassion that leads to enlightenment, fill the hearts of those who imprison them. May all sentient beings, especially our dear animal friends who suffer endless days, months, and years, locked in tiny cages unable to move, be filled with peace and calm. May all sentient beings, especially our dear animal friends who are forcibly taken from their families, be reunited, and may all families be able to stay together. May the hearts of those who live in slaughterhouses, factory farms, and all industries that exploit our dear animal friends be filled with bodhicitta, so the very thought of harm is purified. May they never kill again, and may the slaughterhouse lines, factory farms, and all industries that exploit our dear animal friends become immediately empty. May no animal be afraid or depressed. May their bodies be free of injuries, disease, and illness. May the mutilation of their bodies be forever ceased. May those who need homes or have been driven from them find shelter, plentiful food, and water. May there be liberation for those searching for fur, entertainment, or who are hunted. May those who believe that they are superior to our brother and sister animals develop perfect equanimity, and may they realize in their hearts that all sentient beings possess Buddha nature, the potential to be completely free of suffering, and that they are not ours to kill or exploit. May the billions of land and sea-dwelling sentient beings who are abused, exploited, and killed due to greed, hatred, and ignorance be free of suffering. May all the nets, hooks, blades, projectiles, traps, snares, cages, pens, tanks, lethal restraints, saddles, reins, prods, bait, poison, and all instruments used to harm, exploit, and dominate your animal friends be forever abolished. May all human and non-human sentient beings live together in harmony, peace, equanimity, and achieve perfect enlightenment quickly. May we all experience happiness, safety, freedom, and animal liberation in this very lifetime. We now recite the dedication of merit to our dear animal friends. Throughout our many lives and until this moment, whatever virtue we have accomplished, including this aspiration for peace, and all that we will ever attain, this we offer for the benefit of all sentient beings, especially our dear animal friends. May suffering, exploitation, and unnecessary death be decreased for every being. All wisdom, bliss, and compassion increase in this and every future life. May we clearly and instantly perceive the plight of our dear animal friends with the urgency and seriousness they deserve, and our every action leads us to complete liberation. May we quickly attain enlightenment and will work ceaselessly for liberation of all sentient beings. get the other camera and we'll go and visit with the Cornishes. Oh, yeah. Sorry, folks. I did hit the wrong button, and that's why there was no sound. Um, sorry. I'll work on the sound. There should have been sound, um, and I will work on that next week. I'm sorry about that, folks. But thank you for letting me know, Tracy. That does help me a lot because I might have done that in past weeks too, apparently. But there should always be sound even when I'm going on the tours. Um, and if there isn't, it's because I hit the wrong button. Because I switched from this microphone to the microphone on the camera. All right. Thank you, folks, for letting me know. I will work on that. So, thank you, everybody, for joining us here at the Animal Liberation Temple, where we at the service of the spiritual and physical liberation of our dear animal friends. Um, if you are local, please, come and visit and say hi to our residents here. Maybe volunteer a little bit of time to help with some cleaning stuff that we're always working on. Um, if you're not local, please, volunteer at your local sanctuary and help out there. Um, or visit a dog kennel and hang out with some of the homeless animals there and show them some love. There's always small things that we can do to help folks. And liking and sharing these posts on Facebook or on YouTube, that's super helpful. Um, I always ask folks, if you have the ability to donate, please do. But really, our dream is to just get this our message in front of the right people who think we have the right mission and have an abundance of funds to be able to support the sanctuary. I think that would be the most ideal situation. I don't want to stretch people who can't be stretched. So thank you all for tuning in live. I really appreciate it. Um, have a wonderful week. Thank you.